Okay, rolling on Kershaw knife films, folks. You've seen them. It's time for another one of their more premium folders, which means it's USA made, high-end steel, the carbon fibers, the Magnacuts, the Meserps, and whatnot. This one here is named the Bel Air, and I apologize in advance for not having any Fresh Prince jokes lined up. You could have the meme where it's like, "Oh, Mom, I want to see Bel Air," and it's like the Bel Air we have at home, and it's this pocket knife. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm gonna have to work on that. I didn't have time to work on the Fresh Prince jokes for this video. So how quick can we make this video? Do we cut out all the jokes? I could have cut out that first one. It wasn't even really a joke. It was just very, very fresh in my head. In fact, I just made it up on the fly. It wasn't even in the script. But I did a 5-minute video last month, so let's do my worst here. I always bring my worst every time. You know that's nothing special here. For example, let's get right to the dimensions. Amazing. Now there's a specific type of reply guy that's like, "Hey, less commentary, more facts. There's too much yapping." I don't know if they are aware or not, but manufacturer product pages exist. And most manufacturers have their own little video about the pocket knife where they talk about the things about it. If they watch those, it'd be a lot happier, I'm pretty sure. Okay, they wouldn't be happier. They love shitting on other people. So I reckon the Bel Air here's closest relationship in its premiumness, its lock style functionality, name stamped on the pocket clippedness and whatnot would be the Benchmade 941. It's got a bit shorter of a cutting edge and handle length, but the grip area is similar. And the Benchmade is lighter by 0.2 of an ounce, which isn't much. You wouldn't know unless you're holding them side by side. Is this Kershaw's 941? I don't know. How close will this video adhere to Betteridge's law of headlines? So what Betteridge's law of headlines is, if the headline asks a question, it can almost certainly be answered no, but there are caveats to it. And anyway, YouTube loves asking their little questions and their little clickbait, so I don't know what to tell you. First, let's take a look at the blade. The Bel Air has a cutting edge of about 1/3 of an inch shorter than the 941. However, here we have a very nice, tall, full flat grind with a relatively thin blade stock. Thinned out more than the 941. So if you'd like to compare it to the 941 right out of the box, so you just got both of these knives brand new, because you're following your favorite influencer and you want to hold the knives he's holding, the box, the Bel Air on paper would have a slicker, oh man, autocorrect, fuck that one, would have a slicier blade than the 941. I cannot currently do this though because I'd be comparing the factory Bel Air edge to my half-ass sharpening job on the 941. I actually touch this up with the sharp maker and it works just fine. It just kind of maintains the edge whenever I ding it up or when I use it. Both are reverse tanto-ish blade shaped, although I reckon there's more of a sheep's foot quality to the Bel Air. Although I think kind of a reverse tanto is like it's kind of a made-up blade shape. It doesn't even look like a tanto. A reverse, I don't know. It's got the little clip at the end. Is it a clip point really? I don't know. Who cares? The Bel Air has a Magnacut blade, which is long wearing super steel, and the Benchmade 941. It's a S90V, and that is sort of a super steel too. I think most individuals prefer Magnacut nowadays, but you're gonna get a handful of guys that still S90V. I like it because I know it and I know how to use it. Lock here is a Duralock, which is a style of crossbar lock, sort of like the Benchmade 941. We call those axis locks on Benchmade, but I believe now everybody calls them the crossbar locks since the patent expired or whatever that was. Remember Gonzo made it, everybody was mad because they ripped off Benchmade, but maybe they were just out of the box first. Was the patent expired at that time? I don't know. Is Gonzo a patent respecter? Both blades flick out with the thumb studs nearly identically and flick back with ease. Perhaps there is a tiny more amount of snappiness to the Bel Air, as it is on bearings, and hasn't had to deal with whatever bullshit I've put the 941 through the last 6 or 7 years I've had it. The 941, though, isn't on bearings, just a peasant's phosphor bronze washers, and honestly, it works just about as well. I think bearings, these days, I think people rely on bearings to make a knife smooth, but I found there's very little correlation because you can find a whole lot of old phosphor bronze knives that flick out and are broken in very nicely. And you come across some bearings knives that are like kind of creaky. And like, why did they put bearings on here? Well, they're like, can you imagine how bad it would have been without bearings? Okay, yeah. Fair enough, guy. I just made up to argue with. Both are extremely fidgetable, and the locks in action are almost identical. you know. Here we got marbled carbon fiber handle on the Bel Air, which is a fairly neutral grip. The Benchmade has more of a handle contouring than the Bel Air. Bel Air is mostly flat, but has some chamfered edges to kill any hot spots. You gotta do your fucking knife, gotta do your little knife influencer squeeze and go talk about the hot spots for 10 minutes. I don't see any here. I know I process like wood in the video sometimes, but I don't really do that with my knives. I open cardboard with them and break down some cardboard boxes. Question though, do you like the traditional Honda hood weave crosshatch pattern of carbon fiber, or do you like the marbled carbon fiber better? Remember my Deadlock was one of the first that I had had with marbled carbon fiber. I'm sure it wasn't the first marbled carbon fiber knife out there, but back then it was a fancier carbon fiber. You didn't see as much. Now it's like everywhere. Pocket clip, stainless steel deep carry on this Kershaw here. And it won't let you forget the brand of the knife. It says it right there in case you forget. In case somebody wants to know, like they don't even have to ask you the question. They're like, oh yeah, cool, Kershaw in your pocket. You're like, thanks, bro. It is reversible to the right or left side in a tip-up configuration. Now, if you are familiar with the Kershaw deep carry because you own like 10 to 20, then there are no surprises here. Goes in and out of the pocket nicely. Comparisons first, the 941. You've seen plenty of this one now, haven't you? It's an easy comparison. They don't look the same, but there is a strong visual or spec correlation anyway. Now against another fidget classic, the Demko AD-20.5. Love this one. You know, maybe you love it too. It's hard to tell which pocket knives I love and love more now. I have a lot of them. Said I was going to make this short. It's not going to be short with my musings and sidebars. How about the Spyderco Para Military 2? Fidget classic as well. A good pocket knife. I've seen it a million times. Now the 556. I got the Bel Air the same time as the 556, which would have been early December. But I have failed to make a video on that one in a timely manner as well as this one. So maybe sometimes I think about I should just quit YouTube. Time, motivation, the creative drive hits me where I sit down and work on these scripts. Sometimes it's pretty hard to make this style of video, and it does not seem like it. These seem like low effort, but you know, whatever. All right, that about wraps it up. Is the Bel Air as good as a 941? I am pretty sure yes. It would come down to brand preference. There's a lot of pent-up anger over Benchmade. Maybe people hate them and they buy anything else. You will see this evidenced in the comment section and videos and posts featuring their knives, even under their brand and even under my videos. I hate Benchmade. Cutting up guns, the ones they did for the police department. These guns were used in crimes. They cut them up. People got really mad about that. Adults on the internet got mad. And it was a very formative and traumatic memory for your average knife guy. They won't forget it. I could have gone hunting with it. I could have taken it to the range. I would have treated it like my son. Anyway, I like Benchmade just fine, although I don't think I bought one in years. I think there hasn't been one that grabbed me. There's nothing wrong with them. I think with the exception of the Anthem, I have every Benchmade I want. There may be an auto or two I want, but those are expensive. And don't have a lot of extra money. So yeah, the patrons, they're okay. They're okay people, I'm pretty sure. I bought a new camera and I buy new gear for the channel every year, and this helps mitigate that cost to myself. Some guys like, you just have this expensive pocket knife and you're asking for Patreon money, and I didn't want to argue with him. I just blocked him. I hit him on the channel. I don't. It costs money to make these, and you don't have to participate if you don't want to. Okay, that's how these channels work. Just about everybody making content on the internet is asking for money in some sort of way. I am not really the exception to the rule. So like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching.